This is part of my Ultimate Shopify Tutorial Series playlist linked below, or you can watch the complete 7-hour tutorial linked at the end of the video and in the description. And if you haven't already signed up for Shopify, just know that I've got a link in the description to the best current deal available for Shopify. If you've already signed up, that's perfectly fine, but if you haven't, just know that the link is down in the description below. All right, let's get into the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through how to create your Shopify menu, including your logo for your website. I'm going to be showing you how you can do that in a quick, easy way without wasting heaps of time on your logo, because as you'll hear me talking about, you don't need to waste a heap of time on a logo. You just want to get it together. I'm going to show you a quick and easy way you can do that. And then we're also going to go through how to create Shopify pages. Now, the reason I linked both of these together in one video is because you can't really have a menu without pages, and then you don't really want to create pages without then linking them to be found somewhere. And the best place, one of the best places, is your menu to show them. So that's why I put them both together in this one video. All right, guys, let's get started. Okay, guys, so now that we have the foundational stuff done on our store, the next thing we're going to go into now is we're going to go and do our menu section of our website. Okay, so remembering that just yet we don't have the design, we've just still got the very basic and bland Shopify one that we come with, but as you know, there's going to be a very in-depth tutorial, so we're going to be going through all that. But I want to go make this as beginner friendly as possible, and we're going to step through all the different steps that sometimes do get overlooked or avoided. And yeah, so I'm going to show you through how to edit out this section. Okay, so going first, we're going to go back to into our Shopify homepage, and then we're going to go down to online store. So this is where your store lives, and this is where you see the back end of your store. Okay, so where you can go and then go to your store. So what we want to do is go to customize. So we click this customize button here. Okay, so what we want, we're just looking at editing the menu section here, because you'll find out shortly when I go into actually using gem pages, we can set it up so that Shopify, the menu that we make here, and I advise everyone to do this, where you keep that. We build out all this section through gem pages, and that's where we can make it look way better than you can ever do with Shopify. It's pre-built, it's built-in builder, but we can set it up so that this menu is, we can edit it and have the default one instead of creating it again in gem pages, which is actually what I recommend. Just from a perspective of making sure everything syncs up and works correctly, this is the best way to go about it, to just at least do the menu in Shopify. Okay, so in our menu for our website, we want to click the menu section here, and then what you're going to see is a bit of a basic little overview here of everything that we can edit and change. Okay, so there's not a heap we can do within the Shopify's version of the builder, but it's enough for what we need it for us. Okay, so the first thing I always do when I'm creating out a Shopify store is I get rid of this announcement bar. You can keep it if you like. This is where you can put in things like discount codes coming up. But honestly, the person's like, I just don't feel the need for it. And especially welcome to our store, like, you don't need that. It looks gimmicky, it looks silly, from my opinion. So I always just hit remove. We don't need that. We just want that nice one here. Okay, so then we're going to go, and the first thing I want to show us through how to do is, notice how it just says my store. So that's our quote unquote logo at the moment. It's just got a placeholder of my store. We can go through and make our own, but first I want to show you how we can have this wherever we want to go. So we could have it top center, which I do not like at all. We could have top left, which I don't like either. You could have middle center, which some people do like. I don't mind. It looks quite good. However, from my perspective, the neatest one for desktop is to have it over here. But again, you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to do, our first part of designing, a little bit of fun here. So we're going to make our own logo here. So we can go here. So we see it says here, edit your logo in theme settings. Okay, so we want to create our logo first. So we're going to go to edit theme settings. So theme settings here. We're going to click that. And then you see you're going to say that you can add in an actual logo here. Now, what that means is we're going to have to create a logo and put it in. Now, something that I will say here is I've been guilty of it in the past, so don't think that I'm, being harsh on you here when I say this, but a lot of people, and again, myself included in the past, they spend so much time trying to get the best branding, the best looking logo. Some people spend honestly, weeks and hours upon hours, and sometimes I've heard stories of people spend a month just on their logo, which you just do not need to do, because this might sound a little blunt, a little harsh, but honestly, when you're just getting started, no one gives a shit. No one cares. No one cares too much about what your logo looks like. It's more about, you can do way more with just a really powerful design than your logo. So all I'm saying is don't waste hours upon hours trying to get the next Apple, the next best logo you've ever seen or something, next Nike. You don't need to do that. Just create something really simple. And I'm going to show you quickly how we can do that with a software called Canva. Now, you've probably all heard of Canva. If you haven't, I'm going to go to it quickly now. So if you haven't heard of Canva, it's amazing. It's one of the best editors you're going to ever find on the internet. Honestly, it replaces so much. It's way better. You can do more, to be honest, than a lot of things you can do in Photoshop, and it's just so much more intuitive and easy, and there's a lot you can do with it. Okay, so Canva, it's completely free. You don't need the Pro, but the Pro gives you a lot more, and a lot of the time you'll find that you want to have Pro. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to create, because we're going to do a logo. Now, the best thing that we can do, the best dimensions for your logo, for your website, if you're going to do one like I'm going to be showing you, which is just a nice basic text-based one, you just need to do 400 by 100 pixels. Okay, so we're just going to hit create new design. Now, like I said, so that's a nice logo design here. So we said, if you would have seen the introduction and you've seen what the finished product of this website is going to look like, and you saw that the mock, if you noticed, the mock website was called Optimal Supplements. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can create. Super simple. This is what I've used for my own brands, my own businesses, and for others as well. You don't need to overthink this. Nice and simple is often the best. Okay, so we're just going to go to text, then we're going to go to heading, and then we're going to go, it's going to bring up a big, nice heading like this. Okay, so whatever your brand name is, you're going to put that in there. So I'm going to put in Optimal Supplements. Okay, so we've got that there, just written there. Now, for a logo, I like to have uppercase always. So what you're going to do is you're going to highlight it all, double click, and it'll highlight everything. And then you're just going to go this one here, uppercase, and look at that. Easy as that. Don't even have to put caps on and write it again. It just automatically does it. Okay, so then we're going to center that. And the good thing about Canva is, see these lines that are coming up? That's showing that it's centered like that. Cool. So what we're going to do now is, that's actually not centered to the right though. There we go. So we've got them both direct in the center, because we've got the lines horizontal and the lines vertical, showing that we've got it in the center. Okay. So honestly, you could just nearly even just have that, but the font's a bit basic. So we just want to go to the one that I use throughout the website. And here's a nice rule of thumb. Once you've picked a font that you feel, suits your website, your brand and what it feels right, try and use that over and over again throughout everything from a design perspective and user experience and just creating that brand cohesion, have everything looking the same. Okay, so what we're going to do is, the one that I liked is Poppins. Really nice, easy looking one. And then here's the simple thing that I do, honestly, just to make it look more crisp, but also it's just an easy way to create a logo that stands out a bit. So the crazy of what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go unbold that, so the whole thing's unbolded, and then I'm just going to bold the first word like that. And then look at that, as easy as that, we've got a pretty decent looking logo. Nothing super special, but also it's fine, because once you don't need to overthink it. Like I said, you don't need to overthink this. You just need to get it together. You need to get it done. And that is all we need to do. Okay, so we've got that centered. And what I'm going to do now is we're just going to go, there's our logo. We're going to hit share. And then we're going to go down to download. And then we're going to go to, we've got PNG and we've got size. Now, if we had the Pro version, I'd be able to pull this all the way across. And also, if I went, if I wanted, I could also hit transparent background and it would download for me with a transparent background, which just makes things even easier again. But because we're doing a white header, a menu section, we can get away with just a white background for free, okay? And it'll blend, okay? But I would recommend transparent background if you're willing to pay for Pro. You get it for free for 30 days. So theoretically, you could sign up and then leave them as soon as you've made your logo. Whatever you want to do, up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. So you're just going to go hit download, and then that's going to have downloaded. So we've downloaded our logo, and it's up here. Depending on the browser you use, it should come up on the top here, which makes it nice and easy. Then we're going to go back to our store, and we're going to go to where it says logo, and it says select, and then it's going to bring up this here, and you've got drag files here, and then we're going to go optimal supplements. I'm going to drag it there, and once it loads, we've got this one ticked. We hit done. Okay, so it's loaded in there, and now you're going to see it looks just absolutely tiny. It looks a bit silly. We don't want it like that. So see this width here? We can change that. So we're going to go make it a little bit wider, like that. I'm not minding that. What happens if we go to 300? What's going to happen? Yeah, a little bit too big for my liking. We're going to go back in probably around about there. Looking nice and neat. Okay, so there's our logo. Easy as that. Now, if we go to menu on the mobile, you'll see it centers it for us, and it still looks really nice there. And when they click that, they've got a drop-down menu like this. Okay? So that is the basics of that, adding in our logo nice and clean. Again, hopefully you're not wasting too much time on this, just something nice and simple to get it together. The rest of the website is far more important than your logo, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is see this section here. This is our actual menu. Now, we can't change any of those settings in actually from within here. So we're going to have to go back now and change the main menu of this one. So we can actually, so I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But first, I'll get a little bit excited and ahead of myself for you. But first we want to do is we want to make sure that we actually hit save so that it saves and we don't lose the work we just did. Okay, so changes are saved. That's what our menu is now going to look like so far. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is actually edit what's in our main menu. Okay, so right now it's got home, it's got catalog, it's got contact. Just as a rule of thumb, you do not want a button that just says home. That is the most archaic, basic, like stuff you just do not want to do. So that's going to be one of the first things we're going to remove. But if we want to go back to this now, and let's go to here, and we're going to go to main menu, and we're going to hit edit. Okay, so this is going to take us into a different section now, but don't worry, don't get confused. We're going to be able to go back to where we were before afterwards, but this is where we can change the menu of the items that are on our menu at the top here. So as I said, we want to get rid of home. That's silly. Okay. We don't need a home button. We're going to have the logo that they can click, and that's how they can go home. You do not want a button that says home. Trust me. Okay. And then catalog, absolute waste of space again. Contact, we're going to keep that. Now that's already going to be built in for you. Shopify always has a contact built in, and I'm going to be walking you through in this how to create one that's a little bit more customized. Looks a little bit nicer than your basic one that comes with it, okay? But the next thing we want to do is add in an about page. So we're going to do about. So we're going to go to about here, and we're going to hit this one here, and then we're going to go to pages, and then you're going to see you can select a page here like that, like which is about, and then I'd hit save. Now you're going to be sitting there thinking, but Isaac, I don't have an about section. What are you talking about? Well, I know. I'm just showing you this is how you add in a page once you've created it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we can actually go through and create these pages now. So then we can come through here and edit that. So I'm just going to save that for now. So it's just going to be a very basic menu at the moment. But let's show you how. So if we want to add in each of our pages that we're going to have in here, and I'd recommend you have contact and you have about on the home page. And then you can have a drop-down menu of your collections pages when we get to that, that we're going to have, that's going to drop down and do that. Okay, so what we're going to do first though is just for this portion of the tutorial, I'm just going to be showing you how to do your about and your contact and have that, and then also the collections as a little drop down, but we won't put our collections in just yet so that I can do that at a later date when it makes more sense, and we'll walk through that. Okay, so what I want to do first is go back and create some pages for us. Okay, so if we go back to our online store, so we see this one here, hit online store, and yes, it's going to tell me to save them, and I've already saved them. It's a bit of a flaw with old Shopify. I don't know why it does it. It thinks I haven't changed the settings when I have. So you're just going to hit discard and then just go to that and then go to here, and you can see one that says pages. Okay. So this is our section where we are going to go through. Okay. So this is our section where we're going to go through and be able to create each of the pages that we want to create. So the pages that we're actually going to end up creating are going to be an about page. We've already got a contact page, and we're going to have an FAQ page as well. And then we're also going to have a page, so a drop down for our collections. Okay. But just for now, we're going to show you how to create the about page, and we can go through and do the other ones a little later on. Okay, so the first one I want to show you is the about page. Now obviously I already had one created, but I'm going to delete that so that I can walk you through step by step how to create an about page. Okay, so that one's deleted, and we're going to go to add page. Okay, so all we're going to do here is very easy. We're just going to say about. We're going to call it about page. Okay, like that. And then we're going to go to, we can edit the content in here, and I'm going to show you through how we can create, like a little bit further in the tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can create each of these individualized and make them look even more customized than, Shopify initially has them. But for now, while we're quickly creating these pages, let's just get it together. Okay, so the part here we want to do is the about page for our website. Okay, so the easiest way to go about honestly creating the about page is using ChatGPT. Now all of you have probably heard of ChatGPT by now. ChatGPT makes things so much easier, and especially for you guys just starting out. It's going to be the best way to go about it. So that's what we're going to do. You're just going to head on over to ChatGPT, and I've already created this about page, this about section here. Okay, so the best way is, like, honestly, if once you start to know how to use ChatGPT well, and I'm going to go through how to use it for yourself for this as well in more depth, and like you're going to see it more and more throughout this tutorial. But for now, we're just going to do a nice, quick, easy example. And this is what I came up with for the business. Okay, so about optimal supplements, I just simply said to it, so if you come here, I just said, can you help create a mock about page for optimal supplements? So the good thing about ChatGPT is because it remembers things as you're going along, you could create like, you've talked to it about your brand and what it is, and then you just simply would say something like, based off of everything you know about optimal supplements. Oh, I spelled base wrong there. Please write me an about page. Something like that, okay? I'm not going to do it because I've already got one together, but that's what I do a lot of the time. I'll have been speaking with it about my brand, so you just insert whatever your brand name is there. So based on everything you know about optimal supplements, or whatever your brand is there, please write an about page. Or you can give it some basic information and say, explain what your about page is. Just treat it like you're talking to a real person, explain to it what your business is about and everything, and just say, I want to, could you help me writing an about page? And then it's going to come up with something. And again, don't overthink this too much. Your about page has to be this vision, mission statement that's the best in the world. When we're just getting started, honestly, just get something on there. And okay, and usually what it comes up with, first off, is going to be fine. You might want to refine it a few times, but honestly, just having something together is going to really help you stand out. But honestly, just having anything there as your about page is going to be better than, not having one. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm just going to copy whatever I came up with. Again, you're going to copy whatever you got from yours, what it came through for it. Okay, so we're just going to go here, hit copy, Control C if you're on PC like me, and then I'm going to go back to here, and then I'm just going to hit paste. And then it's going to put that in there, and then we're going to hit save that. Now, it's going to see here, it's going to make more sense when we do this later, but it's got template, so we can actually create our own specialized template, which I've created one there for the about. I'm going to walk you through later on how to do that, but for now, you're just going to leave it as default. And you could just leave that up to you what you want to do. Now, something that you want to make sure that you do is that I've been guilty of when I first started creating Shopify websites is I'd create the page and I'd be like, what the hell? I can't find the page anywhere. I can't add it to my menu. And that's because by default, Shopify will just put it as hidden. I don't know why, but you actually have to hit visible. Even when you hit like before, when you published it, you need to still hit visible and then hit save. And now it's going to be visible for you to find. Okay, so there's the about page that we just created. Okay, so let's just quickly go through, and we're going to go and add in we're going to go back to our menu section. So we've done that, and if you wanted to view it, you can quickly hit view, and this is what it looks like now. And it doesn't look, honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Like it's pretty basic, but yeah, it's nice and clean, simple looking. I'm going to show you later how you can put a bit more of design on it, but for now, it's fine. It's doing what it needs to do. You've got an about page. Okay, so going back here, what we're going to do now, we're making sure we've hit saved. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to our actual menu section. So we're going to go to content, and then we're going to go to menus. So content, menus. Then we're going to go to main menu. Don't worry about these. We're not really even going to ever do anything with them, but we're going to go to main menu. and then we're going to go back here. So we're going to go add menu item. So we're going to hit plus there, and then we're going to hit about. We're going to type in about. I'm going to hit it. We're going to type in about, and then we're going to go to search, and we're going to go to pages, and then look at that. About is going to show up there now, especially, well, as long as you've hit visible, you listen to me and you hit visible, about will be there. If it's not showing up, that, like, don't fret too much. Just hit refresh and then do it again. And sometimes it can take a little bit of time to come up, but hit about, and then we're going to hit tick. Yes, I'm happy with that. Okay, so that is our contact and about done so far. Now, like I said, we're going to go through and we're going to do an FAQ page, and we're also going to do our collections pages. But for now, they are the two, and we've got our menu coming together. So if we go back to our online store, and we go to customize again. Look at you. You're starting to know your way around Shopify. Well done. Okay, so there is our menu section done. Now, one little thing that I might touch on is something, because I a lot of the time actually, for my designs and everything, well, I'll have it like that myself. So he's actually having these in uppercase. Okay, so if you just want to do that, it's very, very like simple. All we do is we go back to edit here, and we go to here, and where it is labeled in here, we just change that to uppercase. So I'm going to just put in uppercase contact like that and hit save, and then about, I'm going to do about in uppercase like that. Oh, didn't delete the other one. We're going to do about like that, and then just hit save. And now if we go back to our online store and we have a look at it now. So remember, this is how we look at the menu. Again, to edit it, we hit customize. Cool. So that's it looks a lot neater in my perspective. Uppercase like that, especially if you have a logo in uppercase. Okay, so there is our menu done, and yeah, we're gonna go back to it a couple more times later on, but for now, that is going to get you understanding how to do the basics of getting our menu together and your logo design, a simple logo, and starting to understand how to create pages here. And then later on, we're going to come back and go even further. Okay, so let's now move into the next section, which is going to be, we're going to actually move into starting to design our website. All right, that's it for this video. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and either check out the full tutorial or the series linked below, plus my free Shopify launch pack that's linked in the description as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.